Good morning guys, I'm Naya and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be a very quick one and we're just going to discuss the 2022 Megatins. So I know I'm a tiny bit late, but a couple days ago the Megatins were announced and also a couple important reprints in the set, and I think we need to discuss that. And I want to know what you think and what cards you will be picking up, so make sure to let me know down in the comments below. So basically the 2022 Megatins are sort of like the last piece of the puzzle to round off the ancient tablet that's been, I guess, building up throughout the last 2 years. And basically you can stack the last 10 on top of the other two. They have I guess rimless lids, so you can stack all of them and create this ancient tablet. And I think this entire idea is so cool, and we can round everything off with this last tin. And it's also not going to disappoint in the terms of its contents. So the most important cards that actually got announced will be Ash, Ogre, Lightning Storm, Nibiru, Droplet, and Dark Dragoon. Like, every single card among those is just incredible piece of news, because yeah, we have a couple hand traps like Ash and Ogre that were reprinted before, but it's still cool to have more cards basically just all around so you can get your hands on them and that the price tag is not as big on the secondary market. And when it comes to Dragoon, Lightning Storm, and Droplet, I mean, also Nibiru I guess is there, but this one's not as expensive as those cards. I think it's just incredible that we will actually be able to get our hands on something as important as Droplet, something as staple as Droplet. And yes, sometimes by the time these cards get reprinted, they sort of decline in popularity. It's always been the pattern of the last couple of years, but it's still not like, I mean, Droplet is never going to be a bad card per se. So I think it's great that they decided to reprint this card. And actually mentioning a couple, I guess, collectors things, we will get reprints of Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and also Dark Magician Girl. And it's not actually, I mean, a reprint is a bad term to use. We're gonna get alternate arts. And I think it's great when a product has, I guess, collectible, sentimental, and also competitive value. I think this just rounds it off very well, and I'm very excited to get my hands on a couple of these cards. And then when it comes to actual sets that will be released in here, so it's Lightning Overdrive, also Blazing Vortex, we have Dawn of Majesty, we have Burst of Destiny. It's like, it's a lot of sets when we need to cover a couple cards that I think will be in the 2022 Megatins. So I will not go by actual sets because I can never remember when cards are actually printed in a set. But from what I've been thinking, we might get a reprints of Underworld Goddess, which is still, it's a cool card, but it has like around a $20 price tag, which is nice but could be more accessible because it's not as played. You have something like Ruddy Rose, which is basically almost the same thing. It's not as cheap as it should be, looking at how it's not very used a lot. And then we have, I'll just keep looking down. I have a couple more things to mention. We have a couple Drytron things. So Diviner of the Herald and also Mu Beta. Mu Beta is not exactly expensive. It's around, I think, $15 or something. But you know, Drytron is not, it got hit a lot. And I don't think it's fair that something like Diviner is as expensive if someone just wants to pick up Drytron and play it, if you know what I mean. And then we might actually get a couple Sword Soul reprints, and it's not like all of these cards are very, very expensive, but it's always good to keep a lot of them in rotation, especially because Sword Soul at that point is going to be out for quite some time. So if someone actually wants to get their hands on the deck later on in the year, they can do that by purchasing the packs or the tins and the singles, obviously, also. And then a couple cards I wanted to point out also would be Ready Fusion and also Aliber of Fordespia, and the last one would be Pot of Prosperity, and I guess also DPE. But a couple of these cards, let's just go one by one. So Pot of Prosperity and DPE, this is very questionable because sometimes they just do not put cards in a tin because they need at least one card to sell a future set. So Access Code was a great example of that, and it really sold the gold reprint set. And I think something similar will happen to DPE or Pot of Prosperity. But when you have a couple cards like Ready Fusion, like Sword Soul reprints, like, I guess, Ruddy Rose, these are the cards that I will more than likely put in the tins just because they're not really played and they have been out for some time. So they just might get a reprint. And also the last one, like I mentioned before, Aliber of Despia. So basically this entire Despia, I guess, wave we're going in right now, speeding towards it with the Alba Strike structure deck. I think this is going to be great. I think the format will change a lot, but I don't think Aliber is going to drop in price. I mean, on the contrary, I think it's just going to stay up there because it's really expensive at this point. So by the time the tins roll around, it's going to be out for some time. Maybe like one ban list or something is going to be in between. So everything, like the format will shift. And at that point, they can reprint this card and more people can get their hands on it. And obviously, it's not ideal. You know, it's not great that Aliber is as expensive it is for someone that just wants to pick up Despia. But I guess the tins are a point in time that can save you. So there's that. And yeah, I think that would pretty much be it. These are a couple cards I wanted to point out. If I missed anything, please let me know. And overall, I guess my last take on the tins would be, I think they are going to be incredible. I'm so excited to pick up all of these cards. Like Droplet, like I guess Prosperity if it actually gets reprinted, because these are staples that you just really want to have and keep on hand so you can play it. And I think what they're doing with these reprint sets is really great work. And yeah, I'm just excited for the entire player base to be able to get their hands on a couple cards that they might not have. So with that being said, like I said before, please let me know what you think, what cards you are most looking forward to, and if you like the video, make sure to like it. Also give me a sub, check out all of the social media, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!